Hi, this is Camilla Blossom, and this video is how to embody Gaian or Earth Consciousness, how to be rooted, grounded in a sense of home and belonging. You know, we're in this period of time right now, a huge transition is upon us, and each one of us are feeling it in different ways. It's important to go within and see it, experience it through your own lens. And that is that shift from the physical in terms of consumption, materialism, into spirit, into energy, into magic. So the superpowers of your intuition, your sensitivity, your empathy, all of those have great, powerful value right now, moving into this new energy. Things are going to change, and there'll be less emphasis on the physical and the material consumer sense. There will be, of course, the ways we act and use our physical bodies and enjoy our sacred vehicles, our bodies, and act and be dynamic and bring that through that relationship we have, of course, with caring for our own body. But it's really rooted at the core in listening to our inner self, our intuition, our higher self, our guidance, to nature, to the earth, to that consciousness. And then when we can be more awake and open to listening and being with this energy, this spirit, this magic, then the physical things will become much easier. They'll flow more. There'll be more abundance involved. There'll be more beauty. And all of that physical aspects of our being will be blessed because we came from the core of the energy, of the origins of that, of those new fields of energy. So that to me is a lot about what we are talking about when we say Gaian consciousness or Earth consciousness. And what I know is that that sense for me of moving from this physical and honoring the medicine, the play, the magic we get from our physical connection with nature, but by deepening it into connecting with the unseen, connecting with the energies present in the forest, connecting with the spiritual aspect of it for you, not what anyone else says, but what your spiritual relationship is with nature, with the land. You know, it is a time to deepen our relationships with our land, to deepen our connection. You know, there's a massive amount of people, you may be feeling this at times or all the time, but a massive sense of disconnection, a massive sense of isolation, of despair, of not having your roots. And in a land, I'm in the US, a land of immigrants who came over from other countries to live here in a kind of traumatic way of taking over the land, which is an ancient human story. But here we are. But there is a very deep loss of our homelands that lives within us who have come from other lands and had a disconnect from the ancestors, from the ancestral lands, from those places, those animals, those foods, those people. And then, of course, living in a world that's quite a melting pot, as it was intended to be. But, you know, held up in these structures and hierarchies of patriarchy and energies that have, and colonialism that have created a need for massive healing. And so for those who are immigrants, which I'd say it's a majority, we are in a collective time of grief, grieving our homelands, grieving our disconnect from our ancestors, our ways, the sense of not feeling belonging, of isolation. We're away from our tribes, our people, our communities that our ancestors had. And so I think that sense of connection is this immense longing within us, this immense longing to belong, to find family, kin, to find others like us, to create that, to look for that, to seek that. And in my experience, I have found that really working on embodying this earth consciousness, this Gaian consciousness, through the rooting and the grounding practices, through the ceremony, through the healing of our ancestry, through the honoring, through these shamanic and beautiful sacred practices, allow us to find ways to make those connections, and that we can do it on this land here. You know, I have an ancestry that's from Ireland, England, Germany, but I've found ways to work with the land and the spirits here, work with the indigenous ancestors of the lands, at times work with the Native American people and in ceremony. But I think it's important for us to recognize and acknowledge, you know, the shadow of disconnection and lack of belonging in what we're really feeling at this time, within our own hearts and our own bodies. I want to bring up this. This came to me in the middle of the night last night. Oops, do this again. And I'll just read it. Gaian consciousness is rooted in well-being and abundance through your sacred body, and in relationship with the spirit of nature, where you find a sense of home, belonging, and oneness. And this to me is how we embody the Gaian consciousness, is by focusing, of course, on our sacred bodies, but also that relationship that we have with nature, with the earth, with Gaia, with the land where we live, where the waters that flow by our home. You know, how can we create a sense of home and belonging and oneness? So our roots really do belong in nature. We are nature. And so one of the ways that I think is really helpful to look at for how we truly root and ground into the true earth, the new earth, the higher consciousness that can liberate us from this false matrix of intense polarity that can pull us in different directions, is to kind of take a break from that and make sure that you spend time caring for your own inner world, your own inner nature, your own sacred body, that you find others that you can create community with and bring that belonging. And, you know, even just simple things. I was reflecting on things I loved a lot when I was a kid. And if you can take some time to reflect on what your favorite activities were in childhood, like biking, swimming in a lake, walking in the forest, sharing magical stories, reading about magic. So there are many ways to create that sense of belonging, that movement back to the circle. And, you know, a lot of my work really focuses on this, like how we can move back into balance, move back into feeling the Great Mother, feeling the love of the earth holding us, the love of the divine and source, creator holding us. And so learning that we can carry that and hold that in our body and have relationships with the spirits of nature, with our land, with our waters, to me has brought so much fulfillment and joy and sense that I am not alone, that I am in my community, even though it may be magical, invisible realm community, but they're always there. They're always there for me. They're always part of my walk. They walk with me. They walk with my ancestors. So all this kind of work on ourselves, this opening to our own shadow, this opening to our joys, which can be a shadow, this exploration of the other world, of the world of magic and fairy realm, or the subtle energy realms of the trees and the plants. You know, all of this is really about awakening our inner shaman and opening our medicine gifts. You know, what is our lineage? What is our magic? Where did it come from? And so all of this work is very important for us right now, to focus less on the physical material world and more on those experiences of spirit, of magic, of the subtle energy realms, because that's where it's happening. And while we're on this topic, I just wanted to also invite you to an upcoming retreat that I have in Oaxaca, Mexico in March. And just, personally invite you. It's a small group of people. We do have a few spaces left. And we're going to be really journeying with how to create more sense of belonging, more community, more connection with the Great Mother through the Corn Mother. And we're going to have an opportunity to go to the origins of corn and the cultivation, which is a very sacred place that is opened more recently outside of Mitla in Oaxaca, Mexico. And we'll have an opportunity to visit the caves, work with a lot of indigenous healers, partake in ceremony. I'll be guiding and leading this and really learning how to connect with land in a deeper way. And these are things that you can bring home, ways that you can learn sacred travel, how to be out on the earth and be honoring and be welcoming and welcomed because of how we can show up in the earth in different places on the planet in a very honoring way. So it is a sacred trip. It's called Corn Mother Pilgrimage, and it is in March. Now, let me pull up the flyer for you. Oops. Let me make sure that you can see it. Thank you. All right. It's March 14th to 23rd. The flights right now are really good price. So it's good to consider your plans. And and we'll be doing a lot to support the culture and the people of that area in this small town. We'll be retreating there at this eco-friendly lodge that has a pool. We'll be making beautiful corn and cacao ceremony and dishes, sharing food. And Corn Mother really is a lot about nourishment, how we nourish ourselves. And she is a representative of the Mother, Great Mother, and brings through this beautiful nourishment and healing and prayer for us to enjoy and work with. And so we already have a wonderful, loving group, and would love to invite you as well to join us and make those lifelong connections, to have this community experience of, like the life-changing experiences we can have when we travel in a sacred way. So that's going on, and you can learn more at my website, which is camillablossom.com, and it will really support how to embody the Gaian consciousness, the new earth consciousness, and how to move forward. So it might be a nice time like to reset and to welcome kind of new ways to walk on the earth and learn about them and share that with others. And also, before I sign off here, just to mention as well that I am accepting more mentorship clients, and I have a special offer right now. So if you'd like to learn more, there's info below. And as always, please share the video, like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for sharing the beauty for today. I'm really in this week of gratitude, very grateful to be here on this beautiful land and honoring of all the Indigenous folks and ancestors here. In my region, it's the Cowlitz, Yakima, and Chinook, among others. So I do want to give an acknowledgement to them and to the beauty that was created and cared for eons of time before many immigrants arrived. I know this is a little difficult time for some of the Indigenous people because of what Thanksgiving represents. And so I just want to really honor all of you and thank you and your ancestors, and honor this path that we're on of making amends, of working with our spirits, our energy and magic to come together and heal this trauma, heal the trauma to the land, to the peoples, to all who need that. So enjoy and peace. Thank you.